That was Rock and Roll Woman by the H.C. Oaks Band. I'm Patrick Reynolds here at Old Town Public House, and I'm alongside H.C. Oaks. You just saw him on stage singing. Thanks
Hello.
for being with us.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it.
Patrick. Appreciate you having us.
Appreciate having the whole band at
Yes.
Studio 13, and you coming in here to the Old Town Public House. This is great.
Absolutely.
Now, Rock and Roll Woman,
Yeah.
tell me about why you like the song. Why did you select that to be on stage with us at Studio 13?
Well, we're coming out with a new album called Photographs in a couple months, and that's going to be like the opening song on it. So we thought it'd be good. Rock and Roll Woman, when I wrote it, it's a fun song. It's about rock and roll. It's about, a person in a bar. It's, maybe wanting to meet someone, but several people want to meet this particular person, right?
Yeah.
So
Like real life.
Like real life, yeah. It's a little competition going on there, but then at the end they end up kind of, getting together and that kind of stuff, and it's just a fun song that hopefully people will feel good about. They get up and maybe dance if they choose to dance, that kind of stuff, and so that's kind of what Rock and Roll Woman was all about.
I've worked with you guys a few times at area events.
Yeah.
Your genre, it's pretty wide, actually. It's a little bit of country, a little folk, a little rock.
A little blues thrown in there. Yeah. I don't guess we want to get pigeonholed per se, but I listen to a lot of different kinds of music, a lot of different genres. So some of the songs we write try to kind of touch on those without totally just confusing people. Like, I didn't see that coming,
Do you have a particular type that you connect with a little bit more? Something that speaks to your heart?
I would say two types. One would be like a rock blues, because that's just so much fun and feeling behind it.
Oh, yeah.
But the type of music I think I really can connect to the most is songs where people harmonize on. I mean, there are times on stage where we can hit 3 or 4 part harmony, and I get chill bumps on songs that we've performed or sang, I don't know, 50 times before. And that's good. When you can still get that out of a song, hopefully the audience is relating to it. So I would say if I had to pick one particular, it would be more of that kind of stuff. Like I grew up with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, the Grateful Dead, the Eagles. I mean, these bands are just great at harmony, and I enjoy that a lot.
We have talked to some younger artists here with us, and they've talking about how older music inspires them, and they really follow that, a couple generations apart. You just mentioned some great bands.
Yeah.
Part of your generation, do you have the same feeling where you go even further back, like before you were born or when you were a little kid? Does music of that era speak to you at all?
A little bit. I mean, if you talk about the blues, I mean, you got to think about Robert Johnson. I mean, he was back in the 30s.
Yeah.
I mean, just playing
Some of the legends.
acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Of course, Elvis, but I mean,
The
those
King.
guys like that, or Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
Those guys, I mean, they started rock and roll, right?
Pioneers.
Pioneers, absolutely. Of course, Johnson's more of a blues guy, but I mean, Elvis, Jerry Lee Lewis, those guys definitely they started rock and roll.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, we just heard Rock and Roll Woman. What do you have coming up for us next?
All right, the next song kind of switches gear a little
Yeah.
bit. It's a little edgy song. It's called Baltimore. And I guess I wrote this song about 3, maybe 4 years ago. And Baltimore, I have some friends in Baltimore.
Okay.
And I was talking to them back 2015 or 16, and unfortunately, a guy lost his life. His name was Freddie Gray, I believe. And there were riots and protests over it. I mean, nowadays, you hear more and more of that, unfortunately. But I don't know, back 3 or 4 years ago, it wasn't as prevalent. And there were riots going on, and it actually started as a protest, but then it turned into riots, and then it got ugly. I mean, I think something like, I don't know, 200 or 300 businesses were burned. Yeah. And I was talking to some of my friends, and I just thought about them, and I said, what causes that kind of stuff? Number of things, right?
Right.
But anyway, so I wrote Baltimore, and if you listen to the lyrics, it kind of talks about people living on the edge a little bit, people getting in maybe a little too deep on certain situations, and getting a little out of control. So it wasn't really addressing the protest as much as just a feeling of what's going on with our society when it happens like that, I guess. So that was Baltimore.
Well, let's have a listen. This is
All right.
Baltimore
Thanks.
by H.C. Oaks.
Sunsets and cigarettes, smoke in the air, fast cars and cigars, demons everywhere. Bad scenes and better me, living on a dare. Cocaine and fast lanes, now she don't care. Going down the road to Baltimore. She don't love me anymore. She kicked me through the screen door. Going down the road to Baltimore. Oh, Baltimore. Been down, walked down this lonely road, dead end sharp bends, deep potholes. Right turn to left turn, which way to go? It scares me, tears me up, don't you know? Going down the road to Baltimore. She don't love me anymore. Kick me through the screen door. Going down the road to Baltimore. Oh, Baltimore. Oh, Baltimore. Sunsets and cigarettes, smoke in the air, fast cars and cigars, demons everywhere. Bad scenes and better me, living on a dare. Cocaine and fast lanes, now she don't care. Going down the road to Baltimore. She don't love me anymore. Kick me through the screen door. Going down the road to
That was Baltimore. Did that song roll around in your head for a while before you put pen to paper?
Baltimore?
Yeah, Baltimore.
A little bit. Normally when I write a song, it's pretty quick.
Okay.
I mean, I may refine it some lyrics here or there, but if I get
Right.
a riff, I'll put it down. And I mean, some songs I've written in a day, and we started recording that night. Baltimore took a little bit longer, and I refined some of the lyrics, but it came pretty quick, yeah.
Okay. Do you have in your head like an average turnaround time for a song? That may be an odd question, but you know, from when you think you're going to write one to the
Okay,
finished product.
I'll give you an
what's it take?
example. I never quite know when I'm going to have an idea for a song. I'm not one to put a lot of stuff down in a journal and then come back to it at some point. This week, I haven't written a song in probably 2 months. I wrote 2 this week, right? And I literally spent a day on each of them, and I'm pretty much 95% there. Now I got to get with the band, see what they
Right.
want to add, that kind of stuff. But the essence of the song is done. Rarely do I spend a lot of time on a song, and hopefully the people don't go, well, I get it. I see why you don't spend much time, right? But I think it's just time to move on to the next one, so to speak.
Inspiration does not keep business
Yeah,
hours.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, next song for H.C. Oaks that we're going to hear will be
Photographs of You.
Photographs of You.
Yes.
Inspiration for that song.
Wrote it during COVID last year. Again, I woke up one morning, had some ideas. I don't know where they came from. Had some
Right.
ideas on my mind. I started thinking about Photographs of You. It's about a person who is kind of looking back on a relationship that didn't quite work out. They're not quite over it yet. I think a lot of us can probably relate to that at some time in our life. And I thought a little bit about, how photographs bring back memories, whether they're
Yeah.
good or bad. Particularly in a COVID quarantine world, I was looking at a lot of different photographs, so I
Sure.
kind of thought of it. So wrote this song. In this particular song, we introduced another member of our band, Jimmy Jordan, who plays saxophone on it. And it's kind of got a saxophone solo, so I think that's kind of
Perfect.
cool, and it worked out good.
Well, I
think.
appreciate you, your entire band, for joining us on the
Thank
Studio
you.
13 podcast series. I appreciate you sitting with us here at Old Town Public House. Thanks so much.
Absolutely, and thank you and your team for having us. We
Well,
appreciate it.
we appreciate it. This is H.C. Oaks taking us out. Photographs of You.
I've been looking at the photograph, the one with the autograph of you and little James Dean. Going through the imagery, shaking off the agony. What the hell came in between? Photographs of you. Photographs of you. Photographs of you. Photographs of you. I am like a maniac, caught up in a flashback, shaking off bad memories. Dark clouds getting closer, theme park roller coasters, stuck in my dependency, my dependency. You loving me, my dependency. You and I dream. Love is on a ventilator, riding on an elevator, going up, down on a chain. Roll my feet the harder way, I'm caught up in your evil ways, sweeping up whatever remains. Photographs of you. Photographs of you. Photographs